spot a vulture overhead, and depending on your tribe, your culture, your belief system, you may see it as an omen of purification and transformation, a guardian, a messenger between life and death, harboring deep magic, carrying a peaceful presence. Conversely, you may feel a sensation of dread as a symbol of darkness and death crosses your path. The idiom, "the vultures are circling," has long been used to denote an imminent difficulty, failure, or ruin, suggesting someone or some precarious situation is about to take place. American poet Ogden Nash wrote, "There is a vulture who circles above, the carcass of culture." But what if culture only saw the vulture through one small lens? Death. We fear it, we hide it, cloak it under darkness. It causes pain and heartbreak, so we cover it up. It reminds us of all we do not know, haven't done, may not realize. It is uncomfortable. It is the end of something known and the beginning of something unknown. But beginnings always hide themselves in ends. The vulture, like death, is often misunderstood. Providing a vital service to the ecosystem, they close the cycle between life and death. They are there at the end and the beginning, witness the transformation. Catalyst, in fact, to the next stage and phase of existence. The cleanup crew, long after the party has stopped. The vulture does the dirty work that no one else wants to do, cleaning up our messes. He appears when there is a situation that needs to be purified and brought back into a state of balance. And that is exactly what was asked of us this year. Harmony. Bringing things back into a state of balance for a new world beginning, ultimately ushering in the freshmen of the next graduating class of spirals. We are being asked now to embody the vulture energy, to look at the circles, cycles, and feedback loops that have been playing on repeat in our lives, to sift, sort, purify, and refine, to close out long-standing archetypal energy streams which have dominated our collective consciousness for many, many years. And ready or not, change and transformation is on the horizon. A long cycle has come to an end, and whether we are aware of it or not, a new cycle, a new reality is already taking shape. Are you in the mix of it? Actively shaping your reality? Or along for the ride? Either way, it's okay by me. Hello, beautiful beings of light. Wow, is April wild or what? Let's get into it. Welcome to the Galactic Energy Report. And welcome to all the new and fresh energy we have here with us today. Today is the first time I am participating with a live audience, and hopefully all has gone to plan, and we are sharing this experience together. For those that are new, and for those who maybe don't know, and for those that do but need a refresh, my name is Love Manifest. You can call me Love. Most people do. Publicly, I am a galactic energy intuitive, gridkeeper, mystic poet, and energetic support guide. Personally, I have a very unique lived experience of a person who is uniquely abled, and it's taken me years to navigate that in a way that's allowed me to live and move in the world in an authentic way. And a diagnosis of breast cancer last year really threw us for a loop. I'm in the process of holistically healing and walking that journey as we speak. I am also a homeschooling mama to a thrice exceptional child, and he is exceptional. I am a part of and co-creator of a homeschooling co-op of amazing mothers and parents, and we live out in nature on an acre of land, which is a source for great inspiration for myself and my family. I was born a channel and energy intuitive. I think we all are, to varying different degrees and states of awareness. Up until 2020, most of my experience with channeling or harnessing the muse or capturing energy was through mystic poetry. I've been on the path of awakening for many years. However, in 2020, I began an intense meditation regime and working with chakra clearing. And at that time, I experienced a spontaneous Kundalini rising, which sparked the beginning of my opening to a channel of a group of fifth density humans from planet Earth, higher, possibly future versions of us operating at the highest the Earth's planetary grid is holding. They are the Gridkeepers for what is known to many as the New Earth and for Earth herself, and they are known to me as the Terra Group. The Terra Group began downloading visions of an entire cosmology of the energetic body and how it functions with and through each planetary grid of consciousness, through the entirety of the galaxy and beyond. They call this system or lens of understanding our reality creation tethering. So, as you can imagine, this has been an intense period where I have been assimilating and collating large aspects of information to which I had no prior knowledge, having never been exposed previously to quantum physics, sacred geometry, astrology, chakras, energy centers, toroidal fields. It was and is always quite new, and it always feels like it's a mystery unfolding before my eyes. The way in which I receive these insights and channelings is through experience. I am an experiential channel and intuitive, meaning, it comes in various different forms and sources: visions, downloads, clairs, signs and symbols, identification with pattern and frequency. It's multifaceted. And then I assimilate it within myself and my consciousness, and ultimately it comes forth in typically one large transmission. Subsequently, I have also been contacted by many, many light beings over the last several years, and in a way that I can only describe as complexes or nodes of consciousness. Serious collaboration of light bodies, Venusians, Mother Mary, Mantids, God and Goddess energy, planetary energy grids, animals, plants and trees. It's been an amazing experience to open up to. And ultimately, whomever makes up the group or the nodal, of which is aiding me in bringing these messages forward, is known to me as the Coalition of the Crystalline Heart. So, as I said, the Terra Group gave me this cosmology called tethering. And tethering is a system of understanding the energy which is shaping our universe. It sees us as galactic citizens, a part of one large structure or body. In this first depiction they ever gave to me, you can see a human standing on planet Earth. The human is surrounded by a large toroidal field, which is comprised of all the chakras and energy centers, which all filter in and around and through the energetic body. This energetic body ultimately makes up the physical body. And these energy cords or tethers are archetypal energy streams which are filtered through the cords and tethers from each and every planetary body, which also holds a consciousness, their own torrid of energy or nodal. As above, so below, as within, so without. This is how we are the universe walking in form, and it us. Each planet has its own unique planetary evolution, history, and consciousness, its own personality, if you'd like. Each planet has its own density, some being much higher than our own. Mercury and Venus being examples of this. Venus being the Earth's higher self, and Sirius being Venus's higher self, for example. In this cosmology, the sun is our future, being the most high vibrating planetary consciousness we are working with from a primary standpoint, from a birthing standpoint. Obviously, the central sun would be the sun's higher vibrating form. The moon is our past and subconscious. Whenever we are caught in the lower vibrating chords and tethers of the moon, we are replaying feedback loops of time-space and without power to create energetic influence across the great tapestry with our dominant resonant frequency in Taurid. So all of our power comes from the now. From the now, we are able to reach the 0 point of creation and harness the power and strength of our Merkaba. Through tethering, we feel into the various different energetic chords and tethers which are shaping our world, and we transmute and alchemize them for higher vibrating aspects of that bandwidth of energy, if you like. As we tick up the vibrational scale and alchemize and neutralize the pendulum swing, the wave, ride more central and coherent, the density, we are creating the scaffolding for the 4th and 5th density abundance matrix. This is known to me through the concept of grid working. Obviously, this is a very condensed version of what I am conveying and relaying in this transmission, but it will give you a general jumping off point for the information which I am sharing today and for the channeling energy intuiting and streaming I will be then doing tomorrow. So through this lens of tethering and the downloads from the Terra group, the information began to reveal that this process of moving from the 3rd to the 4th density began with the collective awakening or opening of the eyes in 2020. What many may understand through the term the harvest has been underway since 2012, as was the move out of our slumber. This can be also seen as the move into the age of Aquarius. Varying different prophecies have terminology for this process, which was initiated in 2012. It could be looked as a change in Kali Yuga. However you understand this lens, it began in and around 2012. This was the initiation or the solidification of this vein of experience through time-space. It was a period in which all potentialities came to a tipping point, and this came to its culmination in 2020 as we came into our awareness of the dream and nature of the 3rd density reality we were embodied in. Understanding 3rd density is symbolizing the body. This was the beginning of the convergence. We truly woke up to our programs and conditions, to our abilities to not only create reality, but the unseen forces which were shaping it. 2021 then placed the emphasis on the body of the self and the material world, coming to terms with our over-identification with 3rd density belief structures and shedding, transmuting, and cording into higher vibrating chords and tethers, which were now available to us. That bandwidth had opened through that initiation process and coming online to it in 2020. So then 2022 became the year of expansion of mind and body, and with it, balance. This was the beginning of energetically structuring our new 4th density templating, practicing how to unify the heart and the mind, how to make sense of this new hero's journey and landscape we had set forth on, becoming the initiates into the ways of the mystic, reaching for spirit. We had access, but very few were able to bring it down into the material. However, through this awakening, through this courting into the new archetypal energy streams that were beginning to show themselves in our dominant resonant frequencies, we were able to build a momentum. The belief that even amidst a world gone wild, new beginnings could be seen. We then understood the theme of 2023 to be Trinity, understanding that we were bringing the vertical line of the etheric and the horizontal line of the material into a state of balance, so that we may then receive access to the higher heart and integrate it into the foundations of our new material world, our fourth density world, in conjunction with our fifth density consciousness, that we may begin building the foundation for our new earth. So that brings us to this now, to 2024, which was understood to be the year of harmony. And if you've been along for the ride thus far, I'm sure this year has felt anything like harmonious. So if everything is breaking down and breaking apart, are we creating harmony? And the answer to that is yes. Because before you can create harmony, you have to experience disharmony, chaos, endings, closing of cycles, beginnings of new ones. And that's a very messy, chaotic, transformative process. The easiest way to explain this, if you've ever played a musical instrument with another person, and before you start playing, you have to warm up your instrument and then you tune it with them. This has all been a process of warming up our instruments. If you've ever been a part of an orchestra and all the instruments are warming up and playing scales and moving from sharp to flat, it's frenetic and chaotic sounds, but with intention, with purpose. And that's an important part. It all serves a purpose. It's getting the instrument into a state of warmth, a state of balance, so that it can begin to harmonize and resonate with the other instruments around it. And that resonance brings about coherence, so that the orchestra then can all play as one sound, one body. Well, we have all been warming up our instruments, going up and down the vibrational scale, sifting and sorting and closing and opening different fractaled aspects of ourselves. And then we have begun calling those home and integrating those. The bifurcation process is now underway. That began the end of last year, but in order to complete the convergence of at least 3 different parallel running timelines into one state of balance, bringing 3rd, 4th, 5th density into a state of oneness, allowing the higher heart to become the new leader and North Star, our compass and guide, we now have to move from warming up our instruments to tuning them. And this looks like tapping into the scaffolding of the 4th density abundance matrix, not the upside down and inside out 3rd density lack matrix. The abundance matrix of which we are now the founders, the co-creators. We have been working with Venusian, Mercurial, and many other planetary grids of consciousness and light beings who have been aiding and assisting us. And many of these different consciousness, these higher vibrating consciousness, are strongly assisting us in this now moment with what the Terra Group calls scaffolding of the abundance matrix. The start of the Gregorian calendar year was really a carryover of the previous, still wrapping up those cosmic cycles which had been initiated by the previous eclipse waves. By the time we reached the Lunar New Year and the Plutonian energy grids moving into Aquarius, the energy felt extremely frenetic. We began to experience a lot of photonic light, X-class solar flares, dysregulating our nervous systems as we prepared to begin 4th density manifest. We began to get the first inklings of our new dominant resonant frequency, and we really began to start to feel this energy stream of revolution. As we began moving towards eclipse season, it was evident that this year was going to be vastly different than other years, where 2023 felt almost stagnant or without ability to really gain momentum. 2024 has seen us ramping up just about everything. The experience of linear time began to shift immensely. Time speeding up, glitches in time, losing large chunks of time. Items began appearing in people's realities years after they had lost them. A common occurrence that I've been seeing is the return of rings. Additional item phenomenon has also really ramped up since the solar eclipse on April 8th. I've seen many recountings of duplicate and even triplicate items showing up in people's realities without any explanation. And as we move further into fourth density manifest, there's going to be an increase in these types of activities. There's also been an increase in sky activities, vehicles, crafts, and lights, planetary anomaly, all evidence of this bleed through and ultimately convergence. Eclipse season brought increased synchronicity, angel numbers, signs, symbols, more than I've ever experienced, as well as people waking up to their spiritual gifts. The conjunction on the 20th that we just saw a few days ago will absolutely see an increase in clair abilities. There are all of these anomalous signs that are now being made manifest, letting us know clearly a new timeline is taking shape. But more than that, it's clear evidence that we are now swimming in an entirely new density of consciousness. Understanding that a density is merely a point of perspective or awareness. And it is easy to see that the collective consciousness is awakening from a mass psychosis, which of course is going to create a lot of ripple and perceived chaos. From the lower vibrational lens of awareness, it's going to look like a world experiencing dysregulation and breakdown. Remember that warming up analogy? The most important skills and most valuable tools we have at our disposal at this time is to learn, number one, to follow our intuition and guidance systems regardless of how external reality is presenting itself. Remember, you are one of the first to have garnered access to the higher heart chakra. If you're listening and exchanging energy with me now, you are the Gridkeepers and Wayshowers building the abundance matrix. And of course, this vibration is available to us all. It just so happens that on this trip on planet Earth, you volunteered to be the first. And there always has to be one. So you will have to be brave and bold enough to stand in your sovereignty, using your discernment. You are straddling two worlds at this time, and that can be very disorienting. And this leads me to the second and third gift, skill, and tool, sovereignty and discernment. Sovereignty can only be gained through the recognition of feedback loop, patterning, and neutral observation of one's layers of reality. And we only get to that state of neutrality by integration, shadow work, and authentically living and moving through the world. And with that clear vision, we can then see what's playing on repeat and where changes for the highest and best vibrating lifeline are taking shape. And this brings me to the third, which is discernment. And that discernment is garnered through lived experience and ultimately observation, a balanced heart and mind, coherence, harmony. This is the work this year. Most of us have indeed already been honing these skills and abilities for many years. And in this case, you will find yourself this year needing to take heart-led action. For it isn't enough to just sit and wonder and marvel at the new earth. We can't just talk about it. We need to be about it. And this energy stream of revolution and innovation and acceleration is going to give you that kind of kick in the pants to, get you started. And so All of that leads me to the next important phase in the waves of energy stepping forth at this time. And I believe it's going to be a big energy stream moving through us, the collective, for the next several years. And that is purification and detoxification. And this leads me to the next important phase in the waves of energy stepping forth at this time. So as we're learning to use our discernment and stand in our sovereignty and navigate with our intuition, we're going to be bumping up against things that need purification and detoxification. Remember, we're creating this scaffolding, this grid, and we're weaving. And along following these threads, we're going to be mending. And this lends itself to the physical body, yes, of course, but we are also at this time focused on mental detoxification and purification. We're following these threads of mental energy that have been stagnated in the collective consciousness. Fourth density is still a density of duality, and it is a mental energy body. So there is going to be much coming down the pipeline regarding the state of our collective mental health. This is a time when we are exploring the fundamental forces of self across many lifetimes and putting it into its proper context. And we are integrating the totality of who we are on this human journey. So we are going to be seeing themes of purification and detoxification, body, mind, spirit, third, fourth, fifth density, refining and redesigning feedback loops, breaking free of long-standing archetypal energy streams in favor of new, novel, innovative, and creative solutions and ideas for new systems, new ways of managing time, of balancing the human doing versus the human being. New paradigms are going to begin forming altogether. Out of outdated structures that are no longer serving us, we now have the tools to begin manifesting that new foundation here in the material realm. And this could be any structure. Ways you are interfacing and relating not just on a macro but a micro level as well. Family structures, education structures, government structures, belief systems and structures, ways of doing anything, what we eat, what we think, what we do, what we are viewing, what we are exchanging energy with. Are we intentionally doing these things? And then analyzing now with an entirely new lens of awareness and a new operating system. So that's actually really exciting. So as you can see, 2024, the year of harmony, in order to bring that harmony to the planet, we must first find harmony within ourselves, sign a peace treaty with ourselves, rip up any contracts that are no longer serving the highest and best outcome for all parties involved, to seek and ultimately find a new harmonic resonance that suits the weird and wonderful, authentic, heart-led being of light that you came here to be. Whether you are consciously aware of this or not, you are the harbingers of the new earth dawning, the new day rising. There is no part of you that is the same. You have been reborn. It is time now to take your first tender steps out into our new atmosphere and home. And just like the vulture flying at higher vantage point, sifting and sorting through the rubble of annihilation to find all the glittering and shining bits that are salvageable, worth keeping and worthy of carrying forth. As we close out long-standing loops of time and space, build the foundations of our new beautiful blossoming reality stepping forth in sovereignty. Is it hard? You're damn straight. But is it worth it? Only you can find out. But I'll give you a hint. It's a big, big, resounding heck yeah. I'm sending you all big, 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 big love. Bye.
Just wanted to say I love ya. Scully loves ya. Bye.